guys, it's Ange from EP.2. Today we are doing our second episode of our new series, Mythology, Makeup, Fashion and Fable. If you're interested in mythology, makeup and fashion, then hopefully you might enjoy this video, so hang around. In this series I tell a story around a mythological or ancient historical female from our past. While I tell this story, I do my makeup at the same time, and at the end I have a top to toe finished look. I do not talk about what makeup I use. Sometimes it will be shown as I hold it up a little bit or using it, but all descriptions of everything that I'm wearing on my face and clothes and jewelry will also be linked down in the description bar. You can also head over to my Instagram where you'll see a number of other photos that I have done for this filming. So today's story is around Arachne. Arachne is Greek mythology, and it is based around the story of the very first spider in creation. In Greek mythology, Arachne was a Lydian woman. She was thought to be a princess by some, but most stories state that she was just a normal, regular woman who was quite beautiful, as most of these stories claim that they are. But she came from humble beginnings and was the daughter of Idmon, a dyer. So pretty much he was a famous dyer who used to dye cloth purple, purple being quite a significant colour that was very difficult at the time to dye and obviously extremely expensive. So Arachne was very gifted in the art of weaving. They do state that she got her skills, or she learned her skills from her father Idmon. There was no known suitors or husband in her life that we know of. She was that gifted that news generally spread far and wide of her skills, her ability to weave these wonderful and intricate designs onto cloth, and people came far and wide to actually witness this. Even nymphs would come and watch her talents. This is how great she apparently was. Top of her profession. However, being a mortal, mortals have very significant failings in our lives, that's for sure. Being a mortal with all her failings, she became quite prideful, quite arrogant in regards to where she got her skill set of weaving. She believed that she was even superior to the goddess Athena herself, who was the goddess of war. She was a goddess of wisdom and also very famous for her own weaving skills. Arachne decided that she was not going to give any credit to Athena for gifting her these skills. In her own mind, she believed that these were her own given gifts and Athena had absolutely nothing to do with it, that she was obviously the better weaver. So above Athena, she was the number one goddess, did not have her talent as far as she was concerned. So being too prideful, this was Arachne's downfall, and downfall was quite significant in this story. So Athena hears about Arachne's claims that she's far superior than herself, and obviously this aggravates Athena. So we've heard about a little bit about Athena in our last story, and can be said that she can be a little bit vindictive and she doesn't take well to mortals stirring the pot, so to speak. Athena decided that she would give the woman a chance to change her mind about where her gifts came from and the fact that she was far superior than the goddess herself. So ultimately, she was given a chance to make correct her wrongs, or her proclaimed wrongs, I should say. Athena came to Arachne disguised, as she was quite able to metamorphose into anything that she really wanted to. So she came to her disguised as an older woman, and she gave her the warning that perhaps she should not necessarily provoke the gods the way that she was doing that. So she did give her the chance to make amends in regards to what she was saying. However, Arachne ignored the woman. She paid no attention to it. In return, she actually turned around and stated that, in all honesty, she would quite happily challenge the goddess Athena to a weaving contest. Silly, silly, silly girl. She also stated that she was quite happy to take on any punishment that the goddess deemed fit if she lost the challenge. After the challenge was set by Arachne, Athena actually changed into her true form in front of Arachne and her crowd of gatherers who were watching her do her weaving. She accepted the challenge. It was set. It was going to be God versus mortal in this contest of weaving. All the other people that were there all fell to their knees, absolutely horrified. Arachne, however, not fazed. She completely believed in her capabilities and her skills and had no issues in believing that regardless she was going to win the contest. Her pride, her arrogance was that strong that it didn't make a difference. Her abilities were far superior than the goddess Athena. Unwavering with the challenge, they both sit in front of their looms and start the challenge. They both created tapestries using the beautifulest of threads. The goddess Athena using threads from the earth itself, it is said. She used threads from the clouds and she used blades of grass to create her most amazing tapestry. Athena's tapestry included 21 scenes of the gods and all of their battles and conquests. It included pictures of Poseidon, Apollo, Dionysus and Zeus. Athena's own victory with Poseidon was displayed on her tapestry, which ultimately led to the people of Athens naming her their patron saint and naming that city after her. And on the corners of her tapestry, she displayed pictures of mortals who dared to defy the gods and how they had been punished without so much as a second thought. This was more of a warning to Arachne to settle down a little bit, basically, lose the pride, lose the ego. However, that wasn't working anytime soon. So Athena's tapestry was obviously a beautiful piece of art that displayed all the good things about the gods with that warning to Arachne. Arachne's tapestry, however, totally different concept. She displayed scenes of Zeus and a number of other gods and all of their indiscretions. For example, how Zeus turned into a swan. He took advantage of the queen of Sparta, Queen Leda. How he also turned into a bull to seduce Europa. Zeus also was depicted turning into an eagle when he kindly abducted Aegina. When Zeus turned into a shower of gold. A rain shower of gold to seduce Danae. He also turned into a satyr. Zeus was beyond anything I have ever read. This man, this god, did not care. He would turn into whatever he wanted to get what he wanted. And the majority of the time was to seduce or take advantage of mortal women. It was clear that Arachne obviously portrayed these scenes out of a need or a want, a strong want, to incite anger from Athena. I mean, why else would she depict these pictures? Obviously to show her that the gods themselves were not perfect, but Greeks never claimed that their gods were ever perfect. Actually, majority of their gods all have these mortal failings. Pretty much Arachne just wanted to show the gods in an extremely unnoble way. And she did. She achieved that. So now we're going to get to the punishment. Even though Arachne disrespected the gods the way that she did, Athena really couldn't state that her artwork was not perfection and it was not beautiful, because it was. Her craftsmanship was divine, and Athena actually knew this. Didn't help her situation, however, because it only incited Athena's rage even more. The fact that Arachne could disrespect the gods the way that she did. She already had previously in regards to saying that she was better than Athena with her weaving. And then to display on her tapestry all those scenes of the gods being who they are, pretty much. Then the fact that her tapestry was perfection and pretty much better than hers just caused more outrage. Arachne was making a mockery out of the Olympians. And she didn't care. Like, she did not care. One, she takes on Athena, claiming that she is the best. She displays all these terrible things that the gods have done on the tapestry. So she knows what they're capable of, but she does not give a shit. She does not give two hoots about what the consequences are going to be, because she believes that her work is going to speak for itself. It did nothing, however, to stop Athena's temper, obviously. We all know how Athena's temper can get. We've seen it with the story of Medusa. Through her anger, or Athena's anger, she destroys Arachne's loom. Like, sorry, she dared to challenge the gods. She dared to challenge the god of war to a weaving challenge. What did she think was going to happen? Now, this is where the story starts to go in two directions in regards to the punishment. The first story states that Athena touched her on the forehead and she was quite overwhelmed with shame, and she ended up hanging herself because of that. The second states that she was overcome with, obviously, grief because her amazing tapestry had been destroyed. Now, it's disputed between Athena's guilt at being the cause of Arachne's death, or just her plain vindictive nature in regards to what made her decide to turn Arachne into a spider in the first place. The first states that Athena didn't want her to have any peace in the afterlife. So she turns her into a spider that should be doomed to spin for for eternity. She also cursed the next generations. All the generations on Arachne's line would all be cursed to be spiders. The second alternative is that Athena was overcome with guilt that she was the cause of Arachne's death, and therefore she did turn her into a spider after she had unfortunately passed away. She turned her into a spider so that way she could continue to do what she loved for the rest of eternity. That highlight palette is so nice. This is just a physician's formula. So good. So as I said, Athena ended up cursing all of Arachne's descendants, and they were all cursed to hang from the threads and be skillful weavers for the remainder of their bloodline. This is the story of how the first spider came about in our history. And it's also a bit of a woeful tale and a warning not to piss off the gods. I'm going to go finish off the rest of this look and we'll finish off the video. I'll be back. So guys, this is the finished look. There will be photos and video at the end of this video. It's clear that Arachne's story is a tale of warning. Don't let your pride get in the way, people. I mean, it's fine to say that you're not necessarily the best, or that you are, but you don't have to be arrogant about it. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Much love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Much love. Bye.